Hey guys, thank you so much.
I like seeing right here.
But I can't play.
Oh, my bad, bro. My bad. My bad.
Everyone,
It's your turn, you jerk. Yeah?
Thank you, that's amazing. Everyone should have their quizzes out. You're working on it. This is the picture that goes along with it. I will give you 2 minutes to do that. You finished the first 2 questions, and I want some creative responses for this class. So I know you guys can have fun.
Why do they call football football when we don't see football?
And then I want you to answer this bottom question if you're done, okay? And it says, what does it mean to infer? I want your best definition. If it's wrong, we'll talk about it in a minute. I want all boys to set 0 and focus. Ready, go. Piece and pencil, got it.
Why is it pointing to that guy's knee?
Well, we don't know what the score is, so we don't know who's winning.
The other one's like
So,
why is it not why is it why? Why is one in a shirt? One wearing the white shirt.
That's their team name. It's Navy.
That's a weird name.
Yep.
That's
Is that a real team?
Yeah, yes.
I've never
It's a
heard of
college football team.
Wait, isn't that the
Really? No.
How are we supposed to know what they're thinking? I don't know what is
Okay guys, 20 more seconds. Keep working. If you're done, make sure your name is on your paper. And these are going to be turned in, so you have 10 more seconds to finish it.
How do you spell educated?
Do your best.
Well, I'm not done yet.
So you finish your thought.
I didn't swear.
Okay, before we go over our answers, I'm going to review some rules because I want to make sure we're doing good. These are some reminders left by Mrs. Whitehead. New pencil policy. Raise your hand if you know what it is. Not to tell me what it is, just if you know what it is. Okay, only 3 people know the new pencil policy?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
If we lose our pencil, we get sentenced to death.
That's a close one, but not quite.
Dang it.
There's a sign out sheet over there. You will
But
go.
every teacher is
I will
doing
wait.
it now.
What's the pencil policy?
Thank you. There's a sign out sheet over there. If you need a pencil, come tell me. You'll write your name on it, and I'll give you one. Well, you'll have to use the new pencil to write your name. But I'll give you a pencil to write your name on, and then at the end of class, you'll turn it back to me and we'll cross your name off. If you don't turn it back in, we're gonna take like a lot of pom-poms, probably like 5. Yes, question. Okay, yes, we're gonna go on. Part 2, bathroom drinks and breaks. Ask, but be prepared for no if we're learning, okay? Because we need to be here during our learning time. Do it during breaks if possible. Yes, Michael? Okay, we can do that in a second. Last one is we moved it up to 30 pom-poms. So you need to be focused, working hard. You need to earn more. I can tell you already that after this, if you guys are good, I'll let you guys get some pom-poms and for reading. But I can tell you that if I have to remind you more than once to get on task, it is 0 pom-poms because pom-pom treats at the end of the week are for those who are on task and work hard in class. Also, raising hands. Micah's killing it with that. Make sure you raise your hand when you talk and I call on you. Well, he was before he just said killing it. And when I'm up here, what should the voice level be? Talking. 0. And where should you be facing? Thank you guys. That actually was also killing it. Okay, those are just some rules. But now let's have fun and hear some of the good ideas you guys came up with. Who has a good answer for what the Navy player or the one with the football's thoughts are?
49ers. I need to score this touchdown.
Okay, I need to score. It's so important. Yeah.
Win
and
so
win.
this is for the opposing player. You're so bad.
So yeah, you might be like, wait, he's calling him back? The one behind him?
Yeah, the opposing players.
So this guy who's chasing the ball down, you're so bad, but he's
That
calling
makes
him.
sense.
You thought you might be going behind.
Get ball, get ball.
Okay. Kevin.
Get the ball.
You're like a feet behind me.
Oh, that's what the guy with the ball is doing. He's like, get faster, you can do better. Okay, last one.
Get faster, kid. You just got ball.
I'm gonna score. Okay, last one. Almost there. Yeah, he might have been running for a long time. So that's awesome.
Or I've seen that.
Super Bowl's this week, so that's why I chose it. But also, we're talking about inference.
Bells.
Does anyone have an idea what the definition of inference could be?
Educated guess.
Educated guess. That's what my last class said too. And so we'll talk about it today. You got another answer?
I guess with some background.
I guess some background knowledge. Keep that in mind, and I'm gonna give you a new solid definition next.
Don't we have libraries now?
Libraries have moved to Wednesday. Thanks for remembering that. Yeah.
You move every day.
Monday.
So,
I hate Mondays and
Thursday.
Fridays.
Oh, it's on Tuesday.
okay guys, before we go into our lesson, we are reading our book. Does anybody want to be the person to follow along this time?
I will.
Okay, real quick, but while we're getting this ready, I'd like to get my copy. I know I'm behind my desk, but it's a copy. While we're getting this ready, each table can go grab one pom-pom. No, two pom-poms if everyone is here. If you can miss one. Go, if you want to go grab one. Wait, I'll be okay, I'll be Mackenzie.
You hear things going to change and see.
Well, that's what Ken's
It's our big man.
4, 3, yeah. I was helping her. Fell downwards.
Somebody got
Who's the best on this table? I'll tell you what. I am.
Gay color.
I'm Mr. B from the
And I'll go.
5, 4, okay. As we're reading, I want to see all eyes up here or on your book. Will Andy, will you grab the lights for us? And once everyone's in their chairs, we will start reading. Yes, Micah.
What page are we on?
What chapter? 7. And the third page.
The emissary was the returning place. At last the day came when they would load the vases into the kiln.
Oh, and pass your
Each
quizzes
vase was placed
beside
carefully
your
on
table.
3 shells, so they piled on the top one of the 10 shells, in a position near the middle of the kiln where men determined to be fire best. Then the wood was precisely arranged in a complicated crisscross pattern of many layers. The kindling of twigs and pine needles was lit with a spark from a flint stone, and the fire was well on its way to draw the kiln to the sea. The heat in the kiln was extremely difficult to control. The kiln had to heat up slowly, to rapid a rise in temperature at the start when the vessels were prepared. This warming process took a full day. Beginning on the second day, more wood was added from time to time to open into the kiln walls. On the third or fourth day, when upon a hope for the correct temperature had been reached, the openings were sealed with clay tubs. The fire blazed at its hottest day until it had eaten all the air within the kiln and began to die, and it took 2 or 3 days for the kiln to cool down. Men preferred to fire his replicas in at least 2 different batches whenever possible, but with the emissary's return nearly at hand, there was time for only one fire. While Min always stayed at the kiln during the crucial first stages of warming and adding more fuel, he usually went home after the openings had been sealed. This time, however, he remained at the site for the entire period of the fire. Trier laid armfuls of straw on the hillside, and there Min sat, the hollows under his eyes dark with exhaustion. His orders were curt, as usual, but quiet. Trier could hardly believe it. He would almost rather have Min shouting at him. Quiet as alarming. Trier brought food from the house, but Min left most of his untouched. He sent Trier back and forth between the house and the kiln on various errands. At the end of each day, Trier crept away on tiptoe, as if any noise might disrupt Min's concentration and somehow ruin the firing. Trier had never figured out if it was his footfalls that woke Crane Man, or if Crane Man simply did not sleep until Trier came home. No matter how late it was, his friend never failed to greet him when he arrived under the bridge. Nor was his voice ever weighed down with sleep. Trier's long hours of work for Min left the two friends no time or light for walks or other activities. Instead, Crane Man had taken to telling stories. He had often told folk tales of foolish donkeys or brave tigers when Trier was a youngster. But that had been some years ago, and Trier welcomed the chance to hear the old yarns again. There were new ones too, sagas about the heroes and heroines of Trier. The stories were a much-needed distraction. After listening to Crane Man's voice for a while, Trier was able to relax and fall into a dreamless sleep. On the last day, Min told Trier to spend the afternoon at the house, tidying the yard. He was to return to the site after sundown. The pieces would be removed from the kiln under cover of darkness. A misted half-moon had risen to the height of its arc by the time Trier had swept the kiln entrance clear of ashes. Holding a lamp, he stood aside as Min crawled in. Min used a pair of special wooden tongs to carry out the still hot vases one by one and placed them carefully into the cart where Trier had prepared a bed of straw. The moon did not give enough light for Trier to see clearly, but when the last vase had been removed, Trier crawled back into the kiln to fetch the lamp. The flame in the small lamp flickered treacherously. It was difficult to inspect the vases closely. The inlay work stood out even with the deceptive light. But Min sighed and shook his head. They would have to wait until morning to see the result. Together they packed more straw between the vases. Then Min held the lamp while Trier cautiously rolled the cart back to the house, the night quiet except for the single-minded singing of the frogs by the river, and once the plaintive call of a night bird. "You are late tonight, my friend," Crane Man called, lighting the lamp as Trier slid down the embankment. "I'm loading the kiln," Trier replied. "I am sorry you had to wait so long for your supper." Crane Man waved his crutch as if brushing away the apology. "I eat too well these days. Fat and lazy, that's what I have become," he joked. Trier should have been nearly dead with fatigue, but he was too tense to lie down. Instead, he sat up and watched his friend eat. As the light flickered around the little den formed by the bridge overhead and the riverbank walls, Trier suddenly had the sense of seeing clearly the things that had always been there, like the deer with his eyes, or the clay with his fingers. A few cooking pots and bowls were stacked on a little shelf formed by the rocks with chopsticks, a single spoon, and Crane Man's knife in each row. Trier's sleeping mat was rolled up and set to one side. There were two baskets Crane Man had woven. One held a few wild mushrooms, the other bits and pieces that might come in handy one day, scraps of cloth, twine, flintstone. Everything was so familiar to Trier. Crane Man having lived under the bridge so many more years, it must be nearly invisible to him by now. Trier spoke almost before the thought. "Crane Man, how is it that when you lost your home and your family, you did not go to the temple?" Those with nowhere else to go always went to the temple. The monks took them in, fed them, gave them work to do. Eventually many of them became monks themselves. This would have been the usual course for someone who met with misfortune, as Crane Man had, and Trier wondered why he had never asked the question before. Crane Man looked almost displeased for an instant, then his lips curled into a sheepish smile. "Ah, there is a reason, but it is a foolish one, and will become more so in the telling." Trier went. Crane Man said once. "It is a worse foolishness to do something foolish and then to be unable to laugh at it later. A fox, then. It was a fox that kept me from the temple. A fox. Foxes were dreaded animals. They were not large or fierce like the bears and tigers that roamed the mountains, but they were known to be fiendishly clever. Some people even believed that foxes possessed evil magic. It was said that a fox could lure a man to his doom, tricking him into coming to its den where somehow he would be fed to its offspring. Even to say the word made a trickle of fear run down Treedeer's spine. The house had been sold, Crayman said. I gathered up my few things and made ready to go to the temple. It was a fine day, I remember, and I made a long time of it walking up the mountainside. So it was dusk, and I was still a good distance away. Suddenly, a fox appeared before me. It stopped there, right in the middle of the path, grinning with all its teeth, shining white, licking its lips, its eyes glowing, its broad tail swishing back and forth, slowly, back and forth. Enough! Treedeer's eyes were wide with horror. What happened? Crayman picked up the last morsel of rice from his chopsticks and popped it in his mouth. Nothing, he said. I have come to believe that foxes could not possibly be as clever as we think them. There I was, close enough to touch one, with a bad leg as well, and here I still am today. But that night, of course, I could not continue on my journey. I walked all the way down the mountain again, looking over my shoulder nearly the whole time. The fox did not follow me. Indeed, it disappeared as quickly as it had come. That night, I stayed under the bridge, although you can be sure I found no sleep. It was many days before I could even think about making the journey again, and by that time, this, Crayman waved his chopsticks at a little space, had begun to seem like home. Days became months, months grew into years. Then you came along. Crayman smiled as he finished his story. Between the fox and you, I was destined never to become a monk. Treedeer unrolled his sleeping mat and lay down. But a few moments later he rose to his knees and peered at the darkness beyond the bridge. Were those two eyes glowing, or just reflections of starlight on the river? As always, Crayman seemed to know what Treedeer was doing in the dark. Go to sleep, he ordered, sounding almost like me. Or are you trying to make me feel an even bigger fool for planting foolishness in you? Treedeer shook his head, smiling, and settled down at last. To Treedeer's surprise, Min's what?
I want someone to raise their hand and tell me something that happened this chapter. Is Richard now?
I'm stretching.
You're stretching now?
Yeah.
Friends? Let me rest this check.
Crayman told Treedeer a story about how he didn't go up to the temple to become a monk.
Exactly. Why didn't he? So you guys are reading Crispin right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Those of you who are, it talks a lot about religion, right? And what was so important at that time. So this is kind of the same thing. He could have gone and been a monk, and then not had to live under the bridge and been homeless. And so he said, "Why didn't you do that? That sounds like such a better deal." And he said, and he told a story about a fox. What did the fox do?
Scared.
Scared him away. It did. And then he ran and was under the bridge, and that's how he met Treedeer. So the rest of the chapter is really good. You guys will like it. We just have to stop it so we have to come to this. But instead of a question about the book today, I want you to get out your journal and you're going to copy down these 5
Copy.
One more copy.
Somebody other than Asher.
Why is Asher?
Yeah, love goes quietly and efficiently.
Oh, that's right. No joking. No.
Why you're
You guys will have
I see one little girl.
Okay, I'm going to read them out loud. So what should the voice level be while I'm reading? What should you be doing?
Copying.
Okay, so be writing while I'm reading. Voice is off. Okay, number 1 is read the text. Number 2, read the question. Number 3, list relevant text details. Number 4, put thoughts together. And number 5, determine what they mean. When you're done, stand up. Micah, where's your notebook? You written down. Grab it right now. You will need to go borrow a pencil.
There's a pencil in my hair. That whole time. I can't see. Number 4.
Okay, I love how many students are standing up. We're getting there. Make sure it's legible because these notes can be referred to later. And should be. Okay, now if you're done and standing up, go find someone at a different table and give me a high five. Brandon, where are yours? Brandon, where are yours?
Let's go take brand new glasses out of my bag. You pay attention.
And head back to your desk. Everyone,
Have my mom thanks me for high fives.
where should rubber bands be?
Thank you.
Confirm that
Where's rubber bands?
I did that a lot.
Can you demonstrate for us? Where to put them?
That's not a good thing.
No.
Put all rubber bands in your bucket.
Oscar.
Kingston, where should we be now? Thank you for doing what I asked and finishing writing them and giving the high five. Awesome. These 5 steps we're going to be using today in Inference. I'm going to change the slide now, but if you didn't finish all the way, it'll be on the next. Or you can borrow someone next to you. Okay, the definition of an inference is an idea or conclusion that's drawn from evidence and reasoning. So pretty much when we're reading or doing things, we use evidence or things we see to help us come to a conclusion. So the definition is coming to a conclusion based on evidence. Turn to a partner and say that. Go. And when you're done, eyes up here. Okay. I have 2 bags. We're going to unbag. And you're going to just pull things out and tell me what you have. I'm going to choose something that's been really good. So this first one, it kind of came out. I didn't have to put it back. It's a pool floaty, okay? So, pool floaty, let's go. Richard, pull something out of this bag for me. And pull it up to the class, show us what it is. It's kind of big. What is it?
A towel. We're going to the beach.
Let's go.
Wait,
What beach?
voices need to be off the whole time we're doing this, or else we can't do the second one. What are those?
Earplugs.
Earplugs.
Oh, can we trade? Can I do it?
Somebody warn
Wait,
us.
do we get to keep this stuff?
And sunscreen. Okay, throw them all back. Everyone, raise your hand if you think where someone with this backpack might be going. Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
The shoes.
Raise your hand. Saeed, where? Wait. What did I say about voice? Just raising their hand. Saeed, where do you think someone with this bag will be going? To the beach. Did I tell you guys that I was going to the beach with this bag?
No.
So you guys inferred. So that means you guys used the evidence to come up with a conclusion. You guys want to do another one?
Yeah.
Okay. This This first
Can
one,
I do this time? Can you go this way this time?
this first one is a picture of stars. And this one, thank you guys. This is what you'll be seeing on this trip.
Camping.
So I don't want to hear voices out loud or else I'm not going to pick you guys. Right here, grab something out of the bag. What is that? A blanket.
Can I go? A hat.
A hat.
Put it on.
What is that? A sleeping bag.
Camping.
A flashlight. And a candle. But the candle is to represent more like fire.
Why didn't you just put fire in the bag instead?
And the last one,
A phone! Portable charger.
it's a portable charger. So where we're going, you can't charge your phone. Raise your hands if you think you know where we're going.
The beach.
Some of you don't know where we're going? Okay, let's see.
The Sahara Desert.
Sahara.
Where am I going?
Good job.
The woods.
Wait, no, voices are still on, guys. We can only do activities when our voices are off. Kevin, where am I going? Camping.
I knew
Love
it.
it. So, same thing. Did I get everything? You can throw that.
No, you don't get to keep the blanket.
So, that's exactly what we want you guys to do when we're inferencing. Use details or things you see, evidence, to help you come to a conclusion. That was super easy, right? But we're gonna do it super easy related to text real quick. Just so you guys can learn. So, inferencing. Where's your rubber band, please? Oh, actually, let's go back real quick. Why is making an inference important? Oh wait, actually, all eyes up here. 5, 4, 3. Awesome, thank you. Why would making an inference be important? When would you use inference, making an inference?
See where you're going.
See where you're going? Okay, yeah.
In a text to see what's happening next.
Exactly, and the higher level of text you guys get to, the more the author uses inferring. She's not just going to tell you, she or he is not just going to tell you exactly everything that's happening. Except you ever read one of those books where it's like, this happened and this happened. Sometimes it's more fun to read a book that has you guessing, right? On the edge of your seat, makes you infer to draw a conclusion. So there's that, and also just in real life, sometimes people make faulty inferences. What an example of this would be if someone's driving their car, right? And they accidentally run a red light. Your immediate thoughts might be like, wow, he's rude. Wow, he's a bad driver, right? It could be because he did run a red light, but you could be like, oh, he's late for work. Maybe that's why he did it. Or
Maybe he wants to get into an accident.
exactly, you might be thinking all these things, but you need to use your evidence to come up with a reason of why you think that is, okay? And that's inferring. Stella, thank you for raising your hand.
One example of that is like my dad. One example of that is like at practice or
Be
something.
off and wait, let's try this again. Class, you guys are more respectful than that. Stella.
One example of that is like at practice or my teammate might like fake a backdoor cut but then just go the other way and then I pass it like nobody's there.
Nobody knows what that is.
Okay, so you inferred, so her movement made you infer that she's going to go and to do a back door, but
But then she goes the other way.
exactly, so that's why we have to use all our evidence, yes.
Like in sports, you can do it to inference where they're gonna go, so you can go the other way.
For sure, I love it. Okay, keeping that in mind, will you help me pass these out real quick?
I will.
We are going to follow the 4 steps you wrote down. The 4 steps you wrote down, those are steps to do what we just did, but with reading, okay? When we read, we're going to follow these steps. So step 1, read, if it's blank, don't hand it to him, some of them might be blank. Or a lot of these, it should be like every other one. Sorry, that was the. Okay, focus back up here, guys. We're gonna follow these steps with this paper. Just put your name on the top and then hold on to it. We'll be working on it in a second. Yes, this is the nose drawing. That's what it is.
Handsome Squidward.
So, step one in our process to infer. What does it say? On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. That's just the first step. Let's try again. 3, 2,
Read the text.
3, 2.
Read the text.
No, when I get to 1, we'll say it. Let's do try that. When I get to 1, we're gonna read it together. First one. 3, 2, 1.
Read the text.
Read the text. Okay. So, first thing we're gonna do is read this little paragraph. As I read, I need voice level 0. So I will wait till eyes are all up here and voices are all off because I don't like to read over people. Okay. Ready? Imagine a half a dozen students standing at the end of the street. It's a dark morning at 7 a.m. The students are huddled together. Several are hugging themselves. Others are jumping up and down. And still, others are rubbing their hands together and hugging on them. When the bus arrives, one student hollers, "Bus!" All the students run to get on the vehicle. Okay, Naya, we just read this story. What does part 2 say? What does number 2 say in our step process? Read the question. Okay. The question I have for you guys, and I don't want you guys to say it out loud, I want you to raise your hand if you think you know. What season is it?
Summer.
I don't want to hear a word outside. Remember, just raise your hand.
Like right now?
Okay, I'll give you guys a few more seconds to think about it. And then on the count of 3, I want you guys to shout out what season it is. 3, 2, 1.
Winter.
Okay. So we think it's split. Okay, usually,
What do I know?
why do you think it's
I
summer?
play ping pong.
Who thinks it's summer? Where does it say that?
The news. Dawn.
Nope, based on the text we said. Okay, great job. So, since you guys have split answers, we're going to go on each step. Usually, everyone has the same answer for this. So I'm kind of surprised we have different answers.
Because
But
we're so good.
the answer would be winter. And a lot of you who already knew that, what you did is you read the text, you read the question, then you skipped down to number 5, which is determine what it means, determine the answer. And you skipped important steps. And while it's so simple, and you can skip it because you guys knew it, we want you guys to be doing each step so that you guys know how to do it when it's harder. So, yeah. Okay, what's your reason?
Some of the kids were jumping up and down and they were excited for the last of
Oh, it could be. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right now. Is we're gonna do number 3, which is list relevant text details. So now you're gonna take your pencil and you're gonna hold it up in your air, everyone. Now you hold your pencil in there. And you're gonna write with me. So we're gonna go through here and we're gonna find text details that we think would help us answer our question of what season it is. Does anyone have one to top of their head? So.
It says it's a dark morning at 7 a.m. and typically in the winter it's like.
Okay, wait, stop right there. I'm gonna call on you to explain that in a second. So just write dark at 7.
Where?
Write it on the outside of your head.
Nobody has a
Voices
head.
off, I should see everyone writing. Dark at 7 a.m.
That's how I fill out my bus stop every single day.
Same.
Hey, and what we just did, we wrote it on the outside. Oh wait. I love how much thinking's going on today, but I want to hear it, guys.
Oh, right here.
I woke up at 5 a.m.
I'm waiting for everyone. What's up, guys? We can do this today. Dark at 7 a.m. We wrote it on the outside of the head because that's our reading voice, or evidence from the text that we can find. Yes.
What about in a different place? Like Hawaii?
Yep, we did that. So right now, we're just using evidence from the text. So, like we just found this evidence, dark at 7 a.m., I want you to turn to a partner next to you and come up with one more evidence from the text that might help you answer the question of what season it is. When you do that, write down what you think it is on the outside of the head as well. Ready, go. Look at the evidence and tell me what you think.
Why do they say bless you when you sneeze? You know?
But I love that you're
What did your heart start?
awesome. Okay, so
Stop it.
now I'm going to ask each row
Fine.
to give me something that they found, piece of evidence. Okay, so let's start in the back. What piece of evidence did you guys put? Joan? Johan, what piece of evidence did you find?
Not you.
What's wrong, manual?
Hurry up.
You got it, Johan. Where in the text?
You're the closest.
Now I'm gonna ask you, Johan.
What?
Where in the text?
We're in the text.
Like, what in the text gave you a clue of what season it is?
Like dark
What
at
season?
7 a.m.
Okay, what else?
You mean the X part in the text?
I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay, well, look at the text
The word text.
and let's see. What does it say? Where does it say something? Or you can call on a friend.
Oh, I'm your best friend.
Yeah.
Braden.
A piece of text.
Because I look
They were huddled together.
Huddled together. Okay, everyone take your pencil. Write it on the outside if you don't have this piece of
I
evidence written.
did do that.
Huddled together.
I did good.
I did a different one.
And I want to see that back table writing it since I know you guys didn't have that one. Write it down. Huddled together. On the outside of it. Okay, another one.
They're rubbing their hands
Rubbing
and.
hands.
She covered me. I thought it first said that.
Rubbing alcohol.
And huffing.
I love
Who all has that written? See it? Perfect. Do you have another one? Okay, this is the last piece of evidence.
Oh, huffing.
What is huffing?
Jump. Oh, we do have. Wait. We don't have that one. Jumping up and down. Up and down.
They're really excited.
And then I'm gonna write one too. Yeah, they were excited to get on the bus, so they run to the bus. That's actually the one I was gonna write. Run to
Yes.
the bus.
I win.
Okay, so everyone should have some of these written down. Write some down.
Some is exciting.
Yep, you can just have 3 down. I just want you to have some of these written down so that you can refer back to it. Okay. On the outside, what we just did, those were reading voice, like I said. Now we're going to move to step 4, which is put your thoughts together. And this is our thinking voice. And where does thinking go on? In our head, our brains. So, we're going to do our thinking voice inside here. What we do for step 4 is we put our thoughts together. And so we use this evidence to come up with an idea of what the answer could be. So, sometimes, one of them was run to the bus. What are some reasons you might run to the bus?
I know.
Cause late.
Micah?
Because it might be just a little trigger.
So it's cold? Do we have any other reasons? Yeah. Oh, the bus is warm?
They have a lot of energy.
They have lots of energy. It's morning. They're ready to go? Yeah.
Because they want to get there first.
Ooh, yeah. They might have like a special seat they want to go to. Hey, they know it's Friday short day. That's a great one. Maybe they are late for the bus, so that's why they're running.
Wait, what? That made no sense.
They could be late for the bus, so they're running to catch it.
Because the bus is on time.
I don't think the bus is
Well,
gonna stop for you if you're
The bus
running
might be on
after
time,
it
but they
and
might
you're
be
late.
late. So, Yeah, exactly.
So racist.
They could, but they
It's
might
easy
be
on
somewhere else
moving
and
hands.
distracted, right? So there's a bunch
Bushing
of
them
different
top.
reasons.
Somebody just died.
There's a bunch of different reasons why they might run to the bus. So how can we make sure we're getting the right details from it? We can combine some of our evidences to help us come up with ideas.
Oh.
So table 6, this is what I'm gonna do, you ready? Huddled together and rubbing hands. What does that mean, table 6? Why would I be doing that? Because they're cold.
I know.
So cold. So I'm gonna write cold on this side of the head. Everyone write that with me. Cold. Everyone write cold on this side of your head. Oh, you got another idea? for those two?
Okay, right
Oh, no?
inside your head. Wait,
I also know-
Get a brain freeze?
I also know that when I'm rubbing my hands and stuff, I'm moving. So maybe they just want to be moving. Cold, moving. Awesome. Let's pair another two together. Jumping up and down and running to the bus.
To get blood flowing.
Why do we think those two together get blood flowing? So kind of moving again.
To catch up to the bush.
What else? Just kind of cold again.
Why'd you write moving twice?
Just because these are these two together. I was just writing it down.
Boston.
What about dark at 7 a.m.? What does that tell us? I want hands raised. Thank you guys. Right here. It's cold. What? Oh, because it's morning. So it's morning, so it's cold. What else does dark at 7 a.m. tell us? It's early. Cold, early. Anything else? Stella said something really good when she first gave us dark at 7 a.m. What does that mean?
It stays dark. They go through.
Daylight savings.
So not everyone might know this, but Stella knows that in the winter, it's dark when she wakes up at 7.
Whoa.
In the summer, if you guys,
Really?
some people might sleep in late all the time during the summer. But in the summer, it gets lighter earlier. So I'm gonna
And it
write,
gets darker later, like at 9 o'clock.
so I'm gonna write that I think it's winter right there. Everyone write those too. So now based on, now that we've done step 4, which is our thinking voice, we're gonna do step 5, which is determine what they mean. So I know that if I'm cold and moving, and it's early, the season is probably gonna be winter, right? Which a lot of you guys already knew at the beginning. But this is how you do for this is
Winter for us is
Yes.
it could be like late in the spring in Alaska.
It could be. And see, and that's why it's in inference, because the author doesn't tell us. We're just doing our best to guess based on what we have.
Be in Alaska. Isn't it like always cold there?
How easy were those steps? Give me a 1 through 5 on your fingers of if you got it, if you felt it was easy. 5 is I got this. 1 is I might need to redo it.
This is impossible.
Okay. Okay, what's the hardest part?
Sleep.
Me?
Yeah, you have to read. What's the hardest part?
The reading.
The reading.
Yes.
No, and sometimes you have to reread too. So I want you guys to do that if you need it. But that's something that can be adjusted by you guys. You guys know how much you need to reread, so make sure you're doing that. Next. Remember the Pixar short we watched?
Yeah, I was awesome.
Okay.
No, I've seen this picture. It's like
Right.
a little line.
5,
I love that one.
3, 2,
I'm the biggest bird.
1. Stop back to go grab a pom pom. Okay. We're going to be watching a new Pixar short, and it's going to be called Birds. And what we're going to be doing is the same inferencing thing. My God. Doesn't matter right now, we're working on new one.
It does matter to me.
Okay, we're going to be inferring. The question that's being asked is how do the little birds feel about the big bird? Once you watch the video, you'll fill just this top portion out. You'll write what the evidence from the video is, or what you see, what that makes you think or what you know about that, and then inference is your answer to the question of how you think the little birds like the big birds, yes, or feel about the big bird. Does that make sense? Okay, and I want you doing this by yourself, and when you're done, we turn it in. We want to see where you're at with your
Wait, where do we
inferencing.
put these?
The heads can go into your toes.
I don't have a phone in my head.
I'm getting paper. Bryson, you guys have that paper.
Okay guys, while we watch this video, this is an independent thing, so where should voice level be?
0.
Show me on your hand where voice level should be during this time. Once I see everyone's hand showing me their voice level, what it should be this time, I will play the video. Back table, where should your voice level be at this time? 0. 0. Because this is a you assignment. So, I want to see you writing as you go. Write your names on the top, and the title is birds. Write both of those in real quick. And I'll put the birds. Just put birds. And remember, you just have to fill out the first portion of the graph, that top one, not the second one. That's a copy of it.
Oh, I seen this.
What the heck is that?
Ooh, I love people who are already writing their evidences down.
Oh, they sound like Toy Story toys. Or like the little resilient, you know, from Toy Story.
That's discrimination.
Reminder, what the voice level was that you guys told me.
Oh, it's the biggest bird.
Welcome with it.
You're evil.
They're gonna go
Oh,
on
no,
tree. Let go.
Oh no.
They got turned into fried chicken. Dude, he skinned them all. Whoa, what are you watching?
I see that thing.
Okay, quickly, fill this out. Remember the first one is your evidence, the outside of the head. The second one's inside of the head. Third's your answer. Quickly fill it out, turn it in, and start cleaning up.
So, what is this about? Making the inference. What's an inference? Okay, so evidence. They didn't want.
That's why he's the biggest bird.
The bigger.
I'm literally the biggest bird.
They acted like jerks.
Remember the question is, how do the little
Well,
birds
I
feel
know.
about the big bird?
So that like,
Yep, how do the little birds feel about the big bird? It's infer how they feel. You're not using words to tell us. You have to infer.
jerks are like jerks are rude to people.
Bro, they're being very
Okay, thank you guys. Turn it in and then how you want?
At Zero Bridge of
on it. Oh, where's Jessica?
Guys, who?
I did, but I did. I don't know where to put it. You can put it. Where's our house?
Here, oh.
Touch your backpack.
No. Acting loud. Stop, Brayden. Let's go.
Good job. Thank you guys. Did you guys turn in your quiz too?
Yeah. I think.
Okay. Have a good lunch, guys. Thanks for working so hard.
I forgot to do my quiz thing. Lunch.
Is this your book? No?
No, I just read it because I left mine at home.
Oh.